destroying your sales. So if you're a coach or a service provider and maybe you have a high ticket offer, you've been wanting to sell an elevated price point or create a high ticket offer within your business, but you feel like, do I need to dilute my signature service and offer it at a cheaper price, or like break out part of my offer and sell it at a discounted price just so I can get a few clients in? You're going to want to listen to this. Okay. So first thing is first, if you guys are new to me, hello, welcome to the show. My name is Jerisha Hawk. I'm a high ticket sales coach, and I specialize in helping coaches and service providers raise their rates and enroll clients at that new price point. So really teaching you the art of high ticket sales and high end sales. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I was on a coaching call with some of my clients today, and a question that came up from more than one person is, hey Jay, I know that I need to be selling, and I know that I want to be selling my services at my high ticket price point. I want to be selling my signature service, but do I need to be like diluting it and breaking off a smaller piece and selling it at a lower price point just in case? And if you have ever asked yourself that question or have pondered the idea, or maybe you have a business right now where you have broken up your signature service into so many little bits and pieces of offers where you're selling, parts of your process, but when people really need the entire process, this is going to be specifically for you, okay? So first things first is, discounting your services really is destroying your sales. And there's three main reasons why this is true. The first main reason of why discounting is destroying your sales is because there's one main reason is it is expressing a lack of confidence. When you are somebody who is discounting your service, I want you to think about how is that being perceived by your prospect, right? So especially if you're in the middle of a launch, or maybe you're even on a sales call and you're like, hey, to get this entire package, it's going to be $3,000. And if they're like, I really don't know if I can afford that, like they start giving you some resistance. If in that moment you're like, you know what, I can just give you the first part here for $500. How does that work? And like now you're bargaining and haggling with this prospect more so out of a space or out of an energetic space of desperation. And that is not where any of us want to be. If you are somebody who is an expert at your craft, that you know that what you have to offer comes with immense value, when you start discounting your services, you are now communicating a lack of confidence. If you do not believe enough in the thing that you are selling, that's what it kind of expresses, like that you do not believe enough in the thing that you're selling to the point where you think you need to offer it at a discount. And that's normally what the case is. Today we had two of my clients on our coaching call brought up this exact issue. And I asked, why do you think that you need to dilute your signature service and offer it at a cheaper price point and break it off into smaller pieces? And both of them said, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of, what the prospect might say. I'm afraid of getting an objection. Part of me doesn't really have the full confidence that I can actually sell it at this price point. And so much of your ability to convert high ticket clients starts with how you're energetically showing up to the conversation. If you lack confidence, they will be able to feed off that and feel that and read that subconscious. And especially when you're selling an elevated price point experience or a high ticket offer, you need to be confident in what you're selling 100% first and foremost. Because if you lack confidence, they will be able to feel it and they will be able to sense it. And again, if you know that what you're doing is going to offer value, if you know that what you're doing is going to be able to help them accomplish their goal or help them overcome their struggle, and then you want to slap a discount on it out of desperation, that is not a good look. That is not how we want to be perceived. That is not how you want to have to show up in a sales conversation. And that's not the reputation that you want to build for yourself. You need to be 100% confident. And in order for you to do that, you need to maintain your price points. Okay. The second reason why discounting is destroying your sales is because, one, it decreases your perceived value. And the world that we live in, people value things based on the price. People value things based on the price. So typically, when we see something that's more expensive than something else, or is presented at a higher end offer, or just with a larger price tag, we will naturally just assume that this thing must be good, or else it wouldn't be expensive. It wouldn't have a higher price tag on it, right? Like if you're going to the hair salon, I know I just recently bought some new wigs, and if I see a wig that's $1,200, it's not just like, oh my God, that's expensive. I'm like, that thing must be some real good hair and very, very well constructed. Versus if I see a wig that's $20, I'm going to be like, that hair might blow up if I put a blow dryer on it, right? So like we all naturally have, people value things based on the price point. And if what you have to offer is changing somebody's life, is solving a major problem that they have, is addressing a specific pain point, is really providing value, is going to produce a return on their investment, that price needs to be reflective of the value that you're delivering. And it is your responsibility as the CEO, as the business owner, to articulate the value in a way that people will understand. And I think this is where a lot of coaches and service providers miss the mark. As the business owner, that what you have to do is valuable, but you have not yet learned how to articulate that in a way that your prospects will understand. Far too often, people approach sales and their prospects like, well, like this is how you need to be approaching it. You need to meet your prospect where they are and stop, expecting them to be where you want them to be. Right? So it's your responsibility as a CEO to learn how to articulate the value of what you do in a way that other people will understand. And this is really where you start to layer in sales psychology and understand the buyer's decision-making criteria, and really start to understand, okay, I know what I need. I know what they need, but they don't know that they need this yet. How do I communicate this through my positioning and through my messaging to bridge that gap? It's hard to sell only based on price. There's so many, this is something that we talk inside of our program services that sell as well, in regards to what are all the criteria that people go through when they're making a buying decision. Price is one of the key decision makers that people use when deciding to invest with you. But if you're only selling based on price, that is not the game that we want to be playing in. Because all you're going to be doing now is, a race to the bottom with your competition. Who can sell it the cheapest? And that's not how we want to be building your brand. That's not how we want to be positioning your perspective in the marketplace. That's just not how you want to be putting yourself out there. So instead of trying to compete based off of price, you need to get really good at selling based on value. Right? And when I say based on value, that's like, are you able to articulate what the return on the investment is going to be for your prospect in a way that they can understand, right? That is like the core of sales at the end of the day. And that's really the art, especially with high ticket sales. That is a non-negotiable. You need to get very comfortable at that and get very savvy at doing that if you want to sell higher end services, right? And the third main reason why discounting is destroying your sales is because, quite frankly, it is cutting into your profit. The number one thing for you to be doing in your business is generating cash flow, is creating revenue, is actually making money. And if you're constantly offering discounts, or constantly, offering friends and family, prices, or, just like slashing your offer, really diluting the total service offering that will produce the result, it's like, and you keep offering these discounts, you're now cutting into your profit margins. And when you're cutting into your profit margins, I want you to also think about, you may not feel this up front because, you're like, well, I just need to get the sale, Jay. Like, I hear you, but I just need to make this money. And it's like, okay, I feel you, but at the same time is taking on a client and giving them way more than what they're paying for worth the time and the workload now associated with the discounted offer that you just sold. And I think that's a time or a profit standpoint, a profit metric that many of us don't pay attention to, especially in the beginning stages, is what is the workload that you're now signing up for at a discounted price with this person? Is this person even have the right mindset of somebody that you want to be working with, that you want to have to deal with? Like, are they as committed to getting the result as you are, committed to helping them get the result? And if the answer is no, quite frankly, like, it might be a yes up front at a discounted price, but it's typically a complete headache on the back end down the line. And it's going to cost you more time and energy and effort to deliver a service to someone who, has enrolled now at a discounted price point, like it's just, you start to resent your clients. So those are the three main reasons why discounting is destroying your sales. Just want to check in with you. Does that make sense? Is this resonating? Is this hitting home for you? Is this like, okay, Jay, you talking to me now? Like, just let me know really quickly. Send me a direct message over on Instagram. Pop in the chat right now if you're watching this live. Are these three reasons resonating with you? Because we're going to get into talking about what do you need to do instead. Okay? So just throw some hearts up on the screen, pop in the chat. Let me know what about this has been so helpful thus far. I think a lot of the time people start getting into sales or afraid that somebody won't buy, and they start operating out of fear. They start operating out of desperation. They start operating out of, and if you're making decisions based off of any of those two states of mind, there is nothing good that is going to come of it, right? You operating out of desperation or fear, any decision that you make out of desperation and fear is not going to produce a result that you want in any scenario, in any situation, right? So that is not how we want to be showing up. So there's three things that you need to do instead. Okay, you guys ready? The first thing that you can do instead is focus on value. And I think people, you hear coaches say all the time, you need to be giving value, communicating value. And it's like, okay, what the heck does that actually mean? When we're talking about a sales conversation, how do you communicate value? That is your ability to articulate what the return on investment is going to be for this prospect, period. So if somebody is enrolling, let's say, you guys, I'm going to just use this as a hypothetical, not even a hypothetical situation, but if somebody is, you'll use a hypothetical situation. So let's say that you're signing up for a program, right, that is going to teach you how to make $100,000 in your business in the next 12 months, okay? That is the sales proposition. We will teach you how to use the lean launch to make $100,000 in your business next year. Let's just say that was the promise. Let's say the cost to work with me as a coach to learn how to make $100,000 was $10,000. So you spend $10,000 to learn how to make $100,000, right? Now, a lot of people might not even have their offer that clear, and that can use some massaging, but just using that as an example. Okay, now if you're trying to sell that to somebody might be like, well, you know what? I'm so caught up on this $10,000 cost. They don't even see the potential return on investment that's available to them. And it is your job to connect the dots. It is your job as the salesperson, as the CEO, to be able to articulate the value of what they're going to get. Would you pay somebody $10,000 to learn how to make $100,000? Let me know, yes or no. That is a 10x return on investment, right? That is a 10x return on investment. It's almost dumb. You can't make that type of return on investment in any other investment vehicle. You can't make that in the stock market. You can't make that in your savings account. You can't make that in your 401k in that short of a time frame. Would you pay somebody $10,000 for them to teach you how to make $100,000? And your job, what to do instead when in these sales conversations, instead of trying to discount your price point, right? Like, well, pay me $100 and I'll show you how to make 1,000. It's like, no, how can you articulate the value in a way that they can understand to help them see and believe that the return on investment that they're going to be spending with you is worthwhile, right? So it's my responsibility to say, okay, this is what my promise is. This is what the upfront investment is. Let me help them understand and see what the return on their investment will be for them, right? So that's the first thing you need to do is focus on value. People are not just hiring you because they like you and they don't want to buy some fluffy thing, especially if you're selling a high ticket offer. Your promise needs to be crystal clear, and you have to be very confident and clear on being able to articulate this is what the return on your investment is going to be when you work with me. Okay? That when you can do that effectively, that pretty much removes any sales objection out of the way. The second thing that you can do instead of offering a discount is really enhancing your positioning. And I think this is a mark that a lot of business owners miss. But if you have raised your rates and you're trying to sell a $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 offer, your positioning needs to be solid, crystal clear. So you need to enhance your positioning. Positioning means, or kind of what I mean in this vantage point when it comes to sales, is price is not a concern when you effectively communicate that you can solve somebody else's problem. And when I talk about positioning, right, we just were talking about communicating the return on investment, but your positioning also needs to be very clear about like what makes you uniquely different from your competition. Your positioning also needs to align with their level of urgency and what they care about, what their sense of urgency is, right? So those two things need to be aligned. And this is where I always say, like, this is something I was telling my leverage clients today, is that your content and your marketing needs to be doing 70% of your sales for you. If the only time you're having sales conversations is on your sales calls, you're already missing the mark. And this is what we teach our clients inside of leverage specifically, is how do you enhance your marketing content to overcome 70% of the sales objections before you ever even get on a sales call. And this is really key. This is really all about positioning. So, if you're only trying to convince somebody of what it is that you do or walk them through your offer once they're on a sales call, you already missed the mark. Like, you've now already added another 3 or 4 months to your sales cycle than what's maybe necessary. So positioning is really, really big. The third thing that you can do instead is believe in yourself. I think this is probably the most important thing out of everything I talked about, because a lot of the reason why you might be discounting your services or not raising your rates, not charging based off of what you should be doing, is because at the core, there's a part of you that does not believe that you are worthy enough. There's a part of you that does not believe that you know enough. There's a part of you that lacks confidence in being able to enroll clients at this high ticket price point. Let's just be 100%. When we really start to peel back the layers, there's normally a lack of belief in self, which is causing you to even make to have these questions, right? So the third thing that you can do instead is really believe in yourself. Stop making rash decisions based out of fear, based out of discomfort, based out of, anything else that's not serving you. You know your stuff, right? Like, if you are somebody that wants to sell high ticket, you're not just trying to sell high ticket just so you can hit your income goals. You know that you need to be charging more for your services because it provides amazing value. You know it can help somebody solve the problem that they have. You know that it can change your life. You know that it addresses a very specific pain point for them. You know that. I need you to start acting like it. Start acting like what you bring to the table is of value, right? When you question your value, so do your prospects. When you lack confidence in what it is that you offer, so do your prospects, right? You should stop. You need to stop expecting that your prospects are going to have more confidence in what you're selling than what you have confidence in yourself. It doesn't work like that. So I really do hope that this was helpful. This was, I know, very tactical, educational type of content today, but this is just something that came up multiple times on my coaching calls today with my clients. And I figured, you know what, if they're probably struggling with this, you guys probably are too. And I hope this was helpful. So those are the 3 reasons why discounting is destroying your sales, and 3 things that you can start doing instead to help you better position yourself to be able to raise your rates and enroll clients at that new price point with ease. Okay, so if you're somebody that wants more help on this, okay, Jay, I'm all in, I hear you, I resonated with this, where do I begin? I invite you to go check out my mini training. It's at jerishahawk.com/raise your rates. Raise your rates is all lowercase, all one word in the URL, but jerishahawk.com/raise your rates. And you can go sign up for my mini training, which will walk you through more of our process, okay? So I see a lot of people on live right now. I have a bit of time. I can do some Q&A with you guys if you would like. So let me know if there's any questions that you have in the comments, and we can do some Q&A based off of what we've discussed as well. Hey, Shubra. Hi, Sophia. Hey, Coy. Noelle, Francis. I see a ton of you guys on. Anne Louise, Jessica. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Jermaine. But yeah, I think this stuff is really, 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 really important. And like, it's just like, how much money are you not making because you keep offering discounts? How much money are you leaving on the table right now because you're afraid of selling your services at the price point you know it needs to be sold at? Right? Like a lot of the reason why you may not be comfortable or being able to convert clients at your price point is because you just have not learned the art of high ticket sales yet. Like I keep like, really selling a higher end service requires a different sales approach. It requires a different marketing approach than what you may have done to sell a low ticket offer. And if you're focused on like these lower level activities or these, I don't want to say less effective, but like more generalized marketing strategies to promote your services, but you're trying to sell a higher end offer, it's not going to align. Because there's just different things that are required to get somebody over that threshold to be ready to purchase something from you at $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Somebody said, do you help those starting a membership site? I do not. We help people who specifically sell services, so coaches or service providers who are enrolling clients at $1,500 or more. The reason being, running a membership site is a completely different business model. Most membership sites are low ticket offers. They're $19 a month, $37 a month, $75 a month. That's a low end. Those are low ticket offers in my book. We specifically work with coaches and service providers who want to be enrolling clients $1,500 or more. So 4-figure clients, people who want to be enrolling 4 or 5-figure clients, specifically selling services or offering coaching. So membership sites are again a different type of business model that we do not focus on. These tactics and strategies I'm talking about very much are for high ticket offers, high ticket sales, 4-figure clients, 5-figure clients. Okay, I think that's a really good question, because different strategies work for different business models, and different approaches work for different business models, different price points of your offer. So if you're somebody who wants to be enrolling $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 clients, what I'm talking about is 100% relevant. Someone said, what is the best and most strategic way to raise your rates? So guys, if you want to raise your rates, raising your rates is just as simple as changing your price. Raising your rates is really just as simple as changing your price. Next time you're on a sales call, you can just say my price is, you can just restate the price that you want to be selling at. Like raising your rates really is that easy. Now enrolling clients at your new rate, that's where it can get challenging. Raising your rate really isn't the hard part. Enrolling clients at your new rate, that's where it gets difficult. And when you choose to raise your rates, and like I said, enroll clients at $1,000 or more, $1,500 or more, you need to it's not just one strategy, or like, it's not something that is just like, well, do this one thing and you're fine. It's really like you have to evolve how you've been showing up based off what I've talked about. Like you need to really be focusing on a pain point specific niche. You need to really dial in on your positioning. You really need to fine tune your package of your offer. You really need to get comfortable on, controlling the entire sales conversation. You need to learn, know how to articulate the value of what it is that you do. It's not just one strategy. Raising your rates is as simple as just changing your price. But learning how to enroll clients at that raised rate, I would tell you to go watch my mini training, jerishahawk.com/raise your rates. And it walks you through our entire process on how we help clients not just raise their rates, but also be able to actually enroll clients at their new price point. And I'll type that in the chat here for you guys over on Instagram. Because it's a different approach. If you guys are on Facebook, if you have any questions, type them in. Everybody right now who's asking is over on Instagram. Aaliyah said, what do you think the difference in marketing tactics are when you hit higher 5-figure offers? I think it's really the same. Like when you're selling anything high ticket, the strategies that I talk about, I've enrolled clients anywhere from $2,000 to $18,000 personally for my own services. We've had clients, use the tactics and the strategies that we're talking about now, enroll clients anywhere from $1,000 upwards to $25,000. So I think when you're dealing with offers in this, well, we actually had a client enroll a corporate client using our strategies for, I think, a $60,000 corporate contract. So the topics and the strategies that we teach inside of our program really do apply for any 4 or 5 figure offer. Like I said, but it's just when you're selling multiple 4 figures, especially going into 5 figure offers, you need to have a different approach to your sales and to your marketing and to your positioning than what you may have done or may have used when you were selling, a $97 coaching session or a $400 digital course or something like that. So yeah, we've had clients use our strategies, enroll corporate contracts upwards of, $50,000 and $60,000 using what we teach inside of our programs. So I don't think there's anything different really between the 4 and 5 figure mark. If you can nail down the basics of what we've talked about and again, you can go watch that training, jerishahawk.com/raise your rates. I'd say it's fairly consistent across the board with those price ranges. Great question. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions, but I really hope this was helpful and insightful for you. If it was, my only ask is share this video, tag me over on Instagram and let me know what your top takeaways were on your stories, or just share this video over on Facebook. My whole mission for you is to actually get paid based off the value that you deliver. I'm on a mission right now. I want to see more business owners getting out of poverty. There's too many entrepreneurs who are broke, right? There's too many entrepreneurs who've been building a business but have never, are not making consistent revenue. And it's like, y'all, this is a new decade. It's 2020. We can't keep doing this. So this is really what I'm committed to, what our team is committed to, what my clients are committed to, of being able to consistently increase your revenue, getting comfortable, using your voice and being confident in the skill sets that you have and articulating the value of what you do in a way that people are more than eager to pay you for. That is what it is all about. So like I said, you can visit jerishahawk.com/raise your rates to learn more about our strategies and our process and our approach to this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Send me a DM and I'll reply back. But yeah, I hope this was helpful, guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Have a good night.